The meeting is already in progress when my title vanishes from the screen. I'm watching the quarterly presentation, the one I built, when Patrick clicks to the next slide. Marketing Director. Except my name isn't there anymore. Just the project. Just the metrics. Just the work. The director keeps talking like nothing happened. Everyone knows something happened. I feel the room register it before I do. 20 people. Silent. Waiting to see if I'll say something. If I'll cry. If I'll leave. I say nothing. My hands stay folded on the table. My face stays even. And in that silence, I watch how people's eyes move. First to the empty title, then to me, then to Patrick. They're trying to decode what this means. I give them nothing to read. Patrick keeps talking about Q3 targets. About efficiency. About the direction we're heading. His voice is smooth. Confident. He doesn't look at me once. But I notice he's gripping the clicker a little too tight. When the meeting ends, people approach me with questions in their eyes. Are you okay? Someone whispers. What happened? I smile like I don't know. Like it's already decided. Like I'm fine. I'm not fine. But they don't need to know that. Not yet. Applause follows the presentation that used to be mine. I sit through it with my hands folded, same as always. Someone glances back to check if I'm okay. I don't give them anything to read. After the meeting, I walk back to my desk like nothing changed. But everything changed. The email comes 20 minutes later. No subject line. From Patrick. He wants to see me in his office at 2 p.m. I sit at my desk for an hour staring at the email. My hands are shaking. I put them under the table so nobody sees. At 2 p.m. I walk into his office and close the door. We're restructuring the department, Patrick says. He's not looking at me directly. That's how I know he's lying. We think it's best if you step into a more supportive role. It's not a reflection of your work. It's about finding the right fit. Right fit. Translation: you're being demoted. When does this take effect? Ask. Immediately. I nod. I don't argue. I don't cry. I just ask, what does my new role look like? He explains something vague about regaining alignment and rebuilding confidence. He uses words like opportunity and growth. He makes it sound like a gift. That night, I sit in my apartment and feel something break inside me. Not dramatically, quietly, like glass cracking under pressure. I think about calling someone. Mom. Friend. But I don't. Instead, I open my laptop and I start writing down everything I remember about today. Every word Patrick said. Every time he looked away. I'm not sure why I'm doing it yet. But something inside me knows I'm going to need this. At my desk, I notice the presentation timestamp doesn't match the version I submitted. I pull up my sent folder and find the original. Created. March 14th at 11:47 a.m. The version they presented has a timestamp of March 14th at 2:15 p.m. Someone edited it after I sent it. Subtle. Intentional. The changes are small. Minor metric adjustments, slight rewording. Nothing that changes the story, but everything that changes who gets credit if someone asks how the numbers were calculated. I save the metadata before anyone thinks to clean it. My heart is racing. This isn't a mistake. This is a choice. I open my email and search for every message between me and Patrick about this presentation. I create a folder and label it Archive. Then I forward everything to a personal email account. Just in case. At lunch I notice something else. The shared drive folder where I usually work, the one with all the campaign files. My access is suddenly limited. I can view it but I can't edit. 2 days ago I had full editing rights. I don't ask Patrick about it. I don't email ID. I don't react at all. Instead I create my own folder in a different part of the drive. A mirrored folder. And I start copying my own files there. Everything I can access I duplicate. Everything I've created I back up. I'm not sure why I'm doing this. But something inside me knows Patrick is building a story. And I need to own my own story first. That night I can't sleep. I keep thinking about the edited timestamp. About the access change. About Patrick's smooth voice explaining my demotion. Keep thinking about the knife. My calendar thins out over the next 2 weeks. Meetings I would normally attend. I'm not invited. Decisions I would normally shape. I hear about them after they're made. It's like watching your office life disappear while you're still sitting at the same desk. But my name still appears when something goes wrong. Client campaign misses a deadline. My name is in the accountability email. I wasn't even on the campaign anymore. Patrick pulled me off last week, but somehow I'm responsible. A metric dips. My name is mentioned in the director's report to executives. As if my demotion caused it. I start tracking when that shift began. March 14th. The day of the meeting. The day my title disappeared from the slide. Create a spreadsheet. I track every meeting I was excluded from. Every decision made without me. Every time my name appears in negative context. I include dates, people, exact wording. I show it to no one. One coworker, Scott, notices the pattern. He mentions it to me at the coffee machine. That's messed up, he says. You should say something. I'm handling it, I tell him. He doesn't look convinced. But he doesn't push. I'm not handling it. I'm collecting it. The difference matters. Every night I update my spreadsheet. Every conversation I listen differently now. I'm not trying to contribute anymore. I'm trying to understand. What is Patrick building? What narrative is he creating? And more importantly, what evidence am I gathering? Permissions change in the shared drive. Most people wouldn't notice. Changes are small. Folder here, a file there. But I'm watching everything now. I notice. My access to the strategy folder is removed. My name is no longer on the creative brief. I can no longer edit the budget spreadsheet. One mirrored folder stays untouched though. The one I created myself. Hidden in a subfolder nobody visits. Keeps recording everything. Every version of every file. Every timestamp. It's my insurance policy. I think about confronting Patrick. About asking why my access is being restricted. But something stops me. If I ask, he'll know I'm paying attention. If I confront him, he'll accelerate whatever he's planning. Instead I go quieter. I stop trying to be helpful. I stop offering suggestions in the few meetings I'm still invited to. I show up, I listen, and I say nothing. People start treating me differently. The energy shifts. Before, when I spoke, people listened. Now, when I'm quiet, people assume I'm either broken or irrelevant. Neither one stops them from talking. And I hear things I wouldn't have heard before. I hear conversations about how the demotion was necessary. I hear doubts about my judgment. I hear Patrick saying things like, I'm not sure what happened with her. As if I'm a problem he solved rather than a person he cut. I save every word. I'm building a case. I just don't know yet what I'm going to do with it. A vague performance note appears in my file. It cites alignment issues. It mentions questions about leadership judgment. It's signed by Patrick and dated March 15th, one day after the meeting. I pull up my performance reviews from the past year. Glowing. Exceeds expectations. Strong strategic vision. Excellent team collaboration. The most recent one is from February, 6 weeks before my demotion. High performer. Ready for expanded responsibility. I place the document side by side on my desk and I stop reacting. My face doesn't change. My body doesn't tense. I just read them. Then I save them both. This is the moment I understand what's happening. Patrick isn't just demoting me. He's rewriting who I am. He's building a narrative where the problem was me all along. Where my demotion makes sense. Where he's the reasonable one for making a hard decision. He's gaslighting me to the entire department. And he's doing it with documents. I think about going to HR. But HR reports to Patrick indirectly. This is a small company. Everyone reports to someone who reports to Patrick. So I do nothing. I don't argue with the performance note. I don't request a meeting to discuss it. I don't defend myself. I just collect it. That night, I create a folder on my personal laptop labeled Evidence. I scan every document, every timestamp, every contradictory review. I organize them chronologically. March 14th. Title removed, presentation edited. March 15th. Performance note added with false claims. Pattern is clear. This was planned. This was deliberate. And Patrick is documenting it himself. I stop volunteering insight. In the few meetings I'm invited to, I contribute nothing. Listen. Take notes. But I don't speak. People talk more when you don't interrupt. I hear about decisions before they're announced. I hear about projects I should have been leading go to other people. I hear Patrick explaining my absence as a transition decision. I hear someone ask, "Isn't she good at that?" And I hear Patrick say, "She was. But we need a fresh perspective." Past tense. Like I'm already gone. My silence is doing something to the room. People are uncomfortable. They try to draw me out. They ask for my opinion on things. I give them polite, vague answers. "What do you think about the new campaign direction?" Marcus asks. "I think it's interesting," I say. That's all I give him. But in that void something shifts. My silence becomes powerful. It becomes mysterious. People start wondering if I know something they don't. If I'm quiet because I'm weak, or if I'm quiet because I'm strategic. Patrick notices too. Catch him watching me sometimes. Trying to read my face. Trying to understand if I'm a threat. Keep my face empty. The truth is, I'm becoming a threat. But not in the way he thinks. I'm not planning to fight him. I'm planning to watch. I'm planning to listen. I'm planning to let him dig his own hole while I document every inch of the fall. My silence is patience. And patience is a weapon. My frameworks reappear in leadership updates under someone else's name. The growth framework I built last year. The one with the 4 pillars and the implementation timeline. The one I spent 3 months developing. It's in the executive summary. But it's attributed to the new team lead, Bella. Someone who was hired after I built it. The director compliments the efficiency of the new approach. He sounds impressed. I recognize my language instantly. Not just the words but the structure. The way I explain the pillars. The specific examples I used. Everything is mine. Nothing is mine. I don't say anything. But I go back to my personal files and I pull out the original document. The one with my name on it. The one with the February timestamp. I screenshot it. Save it. This is gaslighting on a bigger scale now. This isn't just about my role. This is about stealing my work and giving it to someone else so that Patrick can look like a visionary leader. I wonder if Bella knows. If she realizes she's wearing my idea like a skin suit. Probably not. But she will. That night, I add this to my evidence folder. I create a timeline of when I created the framework, when I presented it, when it was archived, and when it reappeared under Bella's name. Timeline is perfect. I'm not angry anymore. Anger is messy. Anger makes you do stupid things. I'm past anger now. I'm strategic. Criticism starts arriving through intermediaries. Never directly from Patrick. Always through someone else. Patrick wanted me to let you know. The director is concerned that there's some feedback about how you're. It's cowardly. It's also smart. Because if I react, it's not Patrick I'm reacting to. It's whoever delivered the message. I respond to everything by email. Polite. Brief. Formal. Forcing everything onto record. Thank you for the feedback. Can you ask Patrick to send me the specific concerns in writing so I can address them directly? He never does. Instead, another intermediary approaches me with another vague criticism. I respond the same way. This goes on for weeks. And with each response, I'm building a paper trail. I'm making it impossible for Patrick to claim these conversations didn't happen. I'm creating evidence that he's giving criticism without accountability. Smart people leave no footprints. But smarter people make sure everyone else's footprints are visible while theirs are hidden in plain sight. Marcus mentions this to me one day. You're being smart about this, he says. Forcing everything into writing. I'm just responding professionally, I tell him. But we both know what I'm doing. I'm preparing for war. And I'm doing it without weapons. I'm assigned low-impact work to regain confidence. A smaller project, less visible, less important. I'm supposed to deliver it perfectly so that I can prove myself again. Patrick is offering me a chance to rebuild my reputation. I deliver it early. Flawless. Perfect. Then I attach a breakdown showing how this project connects to the larger revenue strategy. I show exactly how this small thing I did contributes to the numbers Patrick has been taking credit for. I show how my work was always driving the value. In the email I keep my tone friendly, professional, helpful. But the message is clear. I know what I built. I know what it's worth. And I know you're lying about who made it happen. Patrick doesn't respond. But something shifts after that. He stops assigning me work. My calendar becomes completely empty. I come to the office and I have nothing to do. It's worse than being blamed. It's being erased. I sit at my desk every day and I pretend to work on things. But mostly I'm organizing my evidence. I'm finishing my timeline. I'm preparing for whatever comes next. 'Cause I know something is coming. Patrick is losing patience with me. And I'm ready. 3 weeks pass with nothing to do. Come to the office. I sit at my desk. Pretend to work. But there's no work. No meetings. No projects. Just the hollow sound of my own breathing. This is psychological warfare. Patrick is hoping I'll quit. He's hoping I'll break under the weight of irrelevance. He's betting that being ignored is worse than being attacked. But he doesn't understand what silence has taught me. Silence isn't punishment when you're using it as a weapon. One afternoon I'm eating lunch at my desk when I overhear Patrick on the phone. His office door is open. He's talking to someone about separating me from the team, about exit packages, and minimal disruption. He's trying to figure out how to fire me. But firing someone requires documentation. It requires a paper trail. It requires him to admit that I've done something wrong. And he's already shown the world that his documentation is lies. I save the moment in my mind. I don't record it. I don't need to. 'Cause I already have everything I need. I just have to wait. A month into the emptiness, something unexpected happens. People start coming to me with questions. Not officially. Quietly. In hallways and bathroom breaks. Is it true you built the growth framework? Someone whispers. How did you actually handle that campaign with the big partner? Another asks. They're testing me. Checking if I'll break my silence. If I'll start complaining. If I'll tell them the truth. I give them nothing. Ask Patrick, I tell them. He manages the strategy now. But I see the doubt in their eyes. I see them starting to question the narrative Patrick has been building. Silence is powerful because it makes people fill in the blanks. And they're filling them with the truth. Patrick notices this too. I catch him watching me more carefully now. Not checking to see if I'm okay. Checking to see if I'm a threat. But let him worry. Worry makes people careless. The director starts checking my face for emotion. In meetings when he talks he watches me. Looking for anger. Looking for hurt. Looking for any sign that I'm broken. I give him neutral. Complete neutral. Like I'm a robot. Like none of this touches me. That unsettles him more than anger ever could. Anger means you care. Anger means you're still in the fight. Neutral means you've already left. One afternoon he pulls me into his office. How are you doing? He asks. Like he cares. Like he hasn't spent the last 2 months systematically destroying my role. I'm fine, I tell him. Working on the projects assigned to me. You seem quiet, he says. I'm focusing, I say. He nods. But I can see the worry in his eyes. I can see him trying to figure out what I'm doing. What I'm thinking. If I'm a threat. I know he's nervous because he starts making small talk. Asking about my weekend. Commenting on the weather. Trying to find common ground. He's trying to make me comfortable so I'll stop being a problem. But I'm not a problem anymore. I'm something worse. I'm a witness. And witnesses remember everything. But let him worry. Worry makes people make mistakes. I'm included on an internal email by mistake. It's a chain between Patrick and the VP of operations. Someone hit reply all when they shouldn't have. My demotion is described as an optics move. That's the exact phrase used. Optics move. As in, it wasn't about performance. It wasn't about alignment issues. It was about managing how I appeared to the company. I read the email 3 times to make sure I understand it correctly. Then I archive it untouched. Headers intact. Timestamp preserved. Every detail saved. This is the smoking gun. This is Patrick admitting in writing that he demoted me for reasons that have nothing to do with my work. I don't respond. I don't forward it to anyone. I just save it. And I wait. A partner asks why their main contact changed. We've been working with this client for 2 years. I've been their primary contact. We have a good relationship. They trust me. Then suddenly, they're transferred to Victoria. The partner calls me directly. What happened? You're not working on this anymore. New team structure, I tell them. Victoria is taking the lead now. But you built this campaign, the partner says. You know the strategy inside and out. Victoria will do great, I say. The partner sounds confused when we hang up. Later that day, the partner emails Patrick directly with questions about the campaign strategy. The kind of questions only someone who was intimately involved would know to ask. The director rushes to answer. Too fast. Over-explaining. Defensive. I log the wording and timing. This is another piece of the puzzle. External validation that I was the one driving these relationships. That my removal created a void. The director jokes publicly that I'm enjoying the lighter role. We're in a team meeting. He says it casually like it's funny. Like I've chosen this. Name. Probably loving the break, right? Less stress. Laughter lands unevenly across the room. Some people laugh because they think it's funny. Some people laugh because they're uncomfortable. Some people don't laugh at all. I notice exactly who doesn't laugh. 2 other senior team members. The people who know what's really happening. I smile at Patrick's joke. A tight smile. A smile that says I see what you're doing. He looks away. I lay everything out chronologically on my laptop. March 14th. Title removed from presentation. Presentation edited after submission. March 15th. Demotion meeting. False performance note added. March 18th. Access permissions changed. March 22nd. Credit for my frameworks given to Bella. April 2nd. Vague criticisms begin through intermediaries. April 16th. Rebuild task assigned. April 24th. Email chain reveals optics move. May 3rd. Partner expresses confusion about contact change. May 10th. Public joke about my lighter role. Each piece alone is small. Timestamp change could be a glitch. A permission shift could be administrative. Performance note could be subjective. Together they show intent. They show a pattern. They show that everything that's happened to me was deliberate and planned. I read through it all one more time. And I know exactly what I'm going to do. An internal compliance review is scheduled. Standard. Quarterly. Nothing unusual. But Patrick looks relaxed when he announces it. Confident. He assumes silence means weakness. He assumes I've been broken. He assumes I'm not a threat. That's his mistake. I spend the next week organizing everything perfectly. Not arguing. Not accusing. Just documents. Clean copies. Organized by date. Labeled clearly. I'm ready. I submit only what's requested by the compliance team. No accusations. No narrative. No emotions. Just originals. Timestamps. Version histories. The truth without commentary. The performance notes. The presentation edits. The access changes. The email chain about optics moves. Everything. I include a brief cover letter explaining that I'm providing documentation FR. Add headings, format, paragraph styles. And they will appear in your table of contents. The past 2 months for the auditor's review. That's all. I send it and I wait. Questions begin circulating. Compliance starts asking people to explain things. Why was the access changed? Who made the decision about the demotion? What does optics move mean? Patrick is suddenly busier, more defensive, taking more meetings. Meetings get postponed. His calendar is being blocked by things he can't control anymore. The director starts over-explaining things no one challenged. I hear through the grapevine that he's told different people different stories about why I was demoted. To one person, performance issues. To another, restructuring. To another, it was mutual. When you have to keep changing your story, the truth becomes obvious. You're lying. I watch from a distance as people start comparing notes. As contradictions emerge. As the narrative he spent weeks building collapses in real time. Scott comes to me with questions. Did he actually say performance issues or restructuring? Smile. I wouldn't know. I was told it was a restructuring. And that it was immediate. That's all I say. I let the documents do the rest. The more he tries to explain, the deeper he digs. And I'm just here, quietly watching him fall. A claim appears in his statement to compliance that the demotion was mutual. That we discussed it. That I agreed to it. That's a lie. I was never asked. I was never consulted. I was told. I pull the calendar invite for the demotion meeting. It's in my name only. No acceptance from me. Just Patrick's calendar blocking. I forward the email chain from that day to compliance. Word for word. His voice. His words. We're restructuring the department. We think it's best if you step into a more supportive role. Those are his words. Not mine. No negotiation. No discussion. Just a knife. I say nothing else. The documents speak louder than anything I could say. Two colleagues independently confirm access changes and directive shifts. They don't know each other did this. But they both tell the compliance team the same thing. They both witnessed the permissions being adjusted. They both heard Patrick giving conflicting explanations about my role. Factual. No emotion. It's no longer just my record. It's their record too. And now it's undeniable. Scott is one of them. He sits down with the auditor and walks through everything he witnessed. The access changes. The directive shifts. Timeline. He doesn't embellish. He doesn't make accusations. He just tells the truth. The second witness is someone I barely know. Someone from the finance team. But she also noticed things. She also documented them. She also came forward. That's the moment I realize this is bigger than Patrick and me now. This is about institutional integrity. And institutions protect themselves by removing the problem. Patrick doesn't know what he's created. He created so many enemies by lying to so many people. And now those people are all coming forward at once. Patrick sends a long defense to the compliance team. And he makes a mistake. He introduces new claims that aren't supported by documents. He says he has concerns about her judgment, but doesn't provide the performance metrics to support it. He says the demotion was discussed thoroughly, but provides no emails or meeting notes proving it. He's trying to fight documentation with words. That's not how this works. Every claim he makes becomes something the auditor can check against the actual record. And the actual record says the opposite. I let the email stand as is. I don't respond. I don't defend myself. I just let him dig deeper. Compliance locks files. No more changes. No more edits. No more document manipulation. Everything is preserved exactly as it exists right now. The director asks for a private conversation. To decline. Instead, I email compliance and request that all communication go through written channels. Keep everything formal. Everything visible. Everything documented. The message is clear. I don't trust you. And I'm making sure everyone knows it. The report circulates quietly. Policy violations. Misrepresentation. Retaliatory action. My demotion is officially reversed. Patrick is cited for creating a false narrative about my performance. For unauthorized modification of documents. for establishing a hostile environment. The language is corporate and careful, but the meaning is simple. He cheated. He lied. He tried to destroy my career and got caught. I read the report 3 times. Each time I noticed something different. The auditor used my exact timeline. The auditor referenced the email chain about optics moves. The auditor quoted Patrick's own words back to him, showing the contradictions. The auditor had built the same case I built. But the auditor had authority. And now the entire company knew what I already knew. That Patrick wasn't a leader. He was a manipulator. And his manipulation had finally been exposed. The director's authority is suspended pending outcome. People avoid his office the way they once avoided mine. The energy shifts. The entire department feels it. Patrick becomes the person no one wants to be around. But before the suspension takes effect, he tries one last thing. He sends me a message through HR. An apology. Request to meet. He says he wants to clear the air. That he made mistakes. That he hopes we can move forward. It's too late for that. I decline the meeting through HR. I don't need his apology. Apologies are for people who regret their choices. Patrick doesn't regret this. He regrets getting caught. There's a difference. And I know exactly what that difference is. I don't feel satisfied. I don't feel happy. I just feel like something that was broken has been made right. I'm offered my role back. With options. They want to know what I want. If I want my title. If I want a raise. If I want to stay. I choose the option that moves me forward cleanly. I take the promotion that was supposed to happen before the demotion. The role I was being groomed for before Patrick decided I was an optics problem. I don't take revenge on him. I take myself forward. When I pass Patrick in the hallway the next week, he nods once. It's a gesture of surrender. A nod that says, "You won." I return it with the same neutral expression I've worn this entire time. Unmoved, untouchable, unbothered. And then I keep walking. I don't look back. I don't need to. I already know exactly what I'm leaving behind. And I know exactly where I'm going. The knife couldn't cut what I protected. The lies couldn't rewrite what I documented. The silence wasn't weakness. It was strategy. And strategy always wins. What Patrick doesn't understand is that this isn't over for him. His suspension becomes permanent. His contract is terminated. The company makes it clear that what he did violated every principle they claim to stand for. But I don't watch it happen. I don't celebrate it. I don't need to see him fall. 'Cause I'm too busy rising. I'm promoted within 3 months. Given the role that was supposed to be mine all along. Offered a raise that makes the whole ordeal feel like a distant memory. And every time someone asks how I survived it, how I stayed so calm, so strategic, so impossibly patient, I just smile. Because the best revenge isn't what people see. It's what they realize too late when they understand they lost to someone who never fought back. Someone who just watched. Someone who remembered. Someone who documented everything.